Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Dragon Age Origins. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chosen to join me today, as we just killed an ogre, with that circle mage surviving by the skin of his teeth. Or maybe the skin of the teeth of the giant, because I don't know if it's got less skin, I don't know. Boy, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't do that.
The beacon is over here. We've surely missed the signal. Let's light it
Let me just get some things over here.
quickly before it's too late.
I know. The Avard's Ages. That's the codex. Havard was Maferath's closest friend. They were children together in the same Avar clan. Many similar names, Avard and Avard, and yeah. Fought side by side. The Ages, because I got a shield. Interesting. The lore of the shield goes into the lore thing. Huh. That's kind of cool. This one gives spell resistances and a chance to avoid missile attacks, which is very nice. And because Alistair is the only shield user, he's gonna use it. Oh, the troll disappeared already. Okay. Where are we supposed to do or to go? The beacon over there. It's just a fireplace, but it works.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Can they please not have the Lord of the Rings scenes in their game? Another Lord of the Rings scenes. No. 2 in 1. Oh, that's a new one. I like it. He got ripped apart. There's no saving him now. Yeah, he's dead. He's like the real dead, with eyes that look weirdly. I like it. It's good. It's good. The cutscene, I mean.
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
I'm... Oh... Wait, what? That wasn't just a vision? A vision? Also, hi? Also, where are my clothes? I remember you, the girl from the wilds. She told me her name. I should remember it, but anyway.
I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and we are in the wilds where I am bandaging your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
I remember being overwhelmed by the Darkspawn.
Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call. What is important is that you both live. The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
My friend? You mean Alistair?
The suspicious dim-witted one who was with you before, yes.
Which one?
He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
Oh. Were my injuries severe?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
Right. I have some questions if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
Much, much higher.
What a sensible attitude.
Aw.
Mother is seldom sensible, however.
Oh no. I Her line could have been also written, she would not say anything. She noticed that you said a line in this specific alignment of, I don't know, pragmatic or something, or selfless, or however you want to call it. She just, that's a weird. I was trying. What I said there was more of in jest, sort of in jest in the sense that what she said in a way that makes me think she knew full well that I knew full well what she meant, and I was sort of going with that, but that it wasn't that, which is a shame. It's RPG dialogues. That's how they're written. You have a choice of being pragmatic, angry, or angry but angrier, and then you have to write one reply for each one of those, and they need to be meaningful in regards to the types of answers that you give. So they sometimes are weird, like what a sensible attitude, because it was a sensible answer. Anyway, how did she manage to rescue us exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening?
Are you sure you want me to describe it?
Yes, please.
I had a good view of the battlefield. 'Tis a grisly scene. There are bodies everywhere, and Darkspawn swarm them, feeding, I think. They also look for survivors and drag them back down beneath the ground. I cannot say why.
Could those survivors be rescued?
If you are willing to run into the midst of the Horde, perhaps.
Why did Tyrion Loghane abandon the king? Besides the obvious of being swarmed, but...
I do not know who this Loghane even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
Right. Well, I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
Okay. Well, don't mind me as I take all of the stuff that we have over here.
I'm off.
I'm off. I'm just gonna take all of your things. Oh, this requires a key. Hey, Morgana? Morgan.
You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Who's Morgana? Why did I say Morgana? Obviously, the names are close, but who is named like that? I think it's my character in Bard's Tale 4, but there's somebody else. Well, thank you for helping me, Morgan. I just wanted to say that.
You were welcome. Though Mother did most of the work, I am no healer.
Yeah, I figured that. Not that you were no healer, but she was always saying, like, Mother healed you and did this and did that. Why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
Okay, I'll go then.
I will stay and make something to eat.
Will you make something for me to eat? Is that what she meant? Or would it be okay for me to ask that and be like, no, I will eat it myself. What do you think? I'm your, what's the cook? I don't know. Personal chef? I don't know. That would be a fun conversation.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive.
Eh?
I thought you were dead for sure.
I'm not, thanks to Morgan's mother.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present,
Well,
lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
Yeah, it's oh. So he comes across as just, being hung up on details that really doesn't matter, and she's very reasonable on that. This line, however, you must be very old and powerful if you're Flemeth, kind of points at something that I don't know. Maybe there's a journal entry or a codex entry that I didn't read, but I'm gonna say that.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He
Wait, he died?
was our leader.
Yes.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
I am not really sure, actually. I mean, I imagine they still like. I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm saying I'm not really sure if the Grey Wardens have an ulterior motive here. They are certainly willing to forego other concerns apart from their main objective. So I don't know. I can't say I trust the Grey Wardens or what they meant to represent, or certainly not Duncan. It changed when most of them were slaughtered. The Grey Wardens are no more. Yeah, it changed when most of them were slaughtered.
If you think small numbers make you helpless, you are already defeated.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them.
I didn't.
Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
Can I tell about my dream? Let's see, then we need to find this Archdemon. What is this Archdemon exactly? Yeah, what is this Archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An Archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by Darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
She makes it seem as if history is just a thing set in stone that you can either trust or not trust or ignore. I mean, I suppose I know what she means. You can substitute that for history. Rather, you can substitute history for legends. Legends say it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore legends. But then this last line assumes a different tone, which I think is what she's saying, which is only fools completely ignore legends, because there's always a bit of truth in them, and yada yada yada. That's usually how it goes. Will you help us fight this blight, Flemeth?
Me? I am just an old woman who lives in the wilds. I know nothing of blights and darkspawn.
Well, whatever Loghain's insanity, he obviously thinks the Darkspawn are a minor threat. We must warn everyone this isn't the case.
And who will believe you? Unless you think to convince this Loghain of his mistake.
He just betrayed his own king. If Arl Eamon knew what he did at Ostagar, he would be the first to call for his execution.
Arl Eamon, the Arl of Redcliffe?
I suppose. Arl Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Cailan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course,
Wait a
we
minute.
could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
The implication here, Alistair is serving to distract us, which is a really smart writing device or storytelling device. He is like, he's being honest here, but he's serving to distract us from what really happened. He says it outright. He betrayed the king. That's not true. That's not what he did. He betrayed the Grey Wardens. Well, I guess didn't necessarily betray them, but he wanted the Grey Wardens gone. And we saw that in the intro cinematic, that the Grey Wardens were not loved by all. After the Blight Wars or whatever, 400 years ago, things have gone downhill. And I guess we now know one of the potential reasons why that might be. And so that's why I was sort of sympathetic, and still am. I'm still... I still want to see where it's going, but specifically with this guy that supposedly betrayed the king, he was fighting against the Grey Wardens, not against the king, or not necessarily against the king. I guess, you know, the king was very hyped for the Grey Wardens, so yeah. Let's see. So Landsmeet. Loghain was also keep in mind that Loghain was also an honorable man. Oh wait, but that's not me defending Loghain. That's me doubting this guy. Huh, I might not want to go with that. Sounds like an excellent idea. Surely there are other allies we could call on. Everyone will see the danger the Blight poses. And say he doesn't help us. What then? Let's go with that. Yeah, say he doesn't help us. What then?
You have more at your disposal than merely old friends.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Can we do it? Also that they're obligated. By whom? Who is gonna obligate them? Who's gonna be like, oh, you didn't reply when they asked on you. You have a treaty over here, don't you see? Treaties are only as powerful as the people who enforce them, and that goes the same for any agreement. Doesn't even have to be official. The Grey Wardens are gone. Huh. I doubt it'll be as easy as that.
And when is it ever?
It's always been the Grey Warden's duty to stand against the Blight. And right now, we're the Grey Wardens.
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
Us both? Just us two? I don't suppose you could offer any more help?
Now that you mention it, I do have one more thing to offer.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Well, thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
They have a very interesting relationship as mother and daughter. Morgan clearly looks up to her mother, but in a... Her "have I no say in this" line right there was sort of, not out of character, but sort of a surprise. It makes sense. It might be sort of a token line just to show some protest. But she always sounded very... Submissive might bring other connotations that are not intended here, but submissive is the word I'm going to use towards her mother, which makes total sense because she's super powerful and like all that sort of stuff. And of course, them being, you know, sort of hermits themselves would change the social, or at least the perception we get of their particular relationship in regards to things like consent and things like that, where imagine she's fully in charge of her education, and this is part of her education as a witch or whatever her class is. She's a mage. That's the class. There's only 3. But yeah, it's interesting. You have been itching to get out of the wilds. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment your lives. Was this your idea all along?
Pardon me, but I had the impression that you two needed assistance, whatever the form.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens. Do you understand?
That was great.
I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
That was great. Oh my god, down to the second line when she says, I... ... understand. The line that the mother spoke to her was meant for us to hear. She knew what she meant, and it wasn't what she said. I might be reading too much into it, but you can look into that line and see, or you can look at that line and see her mother being like, these people are going to control the world, and they need you to do it, not because you're going to be their tool, but because you are going to take advantage of that. So it's and also, you know, it again goes back to the whole question about education, and if it is her education as a mage and whatever. I don't know what their ambitions are and what their goals are. I don't know anything about their characters apart from just knowing that she's Morrigan, because these are famous characters. Not her, though. I don't remember her being a famous character. But it's the same reason I recognized Alistair and recognized Duncan. But that line was... I might be reading too much into it. Hopefully I'm not, because there's... Well, that's the setup. If I'm not reading too much into it, if I'm seeing it as it is, then it's a brilliant line, and it is the setup for the storyline, which I love, for her storyline anyway, which I love. I understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please.
And she walks away, ever so ponderous.
I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
No, I prefer you speak your mind.
You will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
I just... Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
What do you mean, her mother? Get over yourself, Alistair.
If you worry that I will summon demons and transform into an abomination, I assure you I will at least wait until you are not looking.
I feel better already.
Actually, I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Are you really Flemeth's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
I believe so. I'm just wondering her age.
She would no more tell me than you, I assure you.
Have you never been outside the wilds?
From time to time, I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Is that all you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
So tell me about this village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travellers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
I really like... She has two modes, and I don't know if some of her lines sound a little bit flat, and I'm not sure if it's on purpose. And I hope it's not on purpose. She has the mode of being sarcastic and sort of all about the subtext, which is that right there. Not necessarily sarcastic, but in her... Not necessarily sarcastic, but about the subtext. And then she has when she's being serious and she's being honest. I think she wants to come across as that, but she's very flat then, which is interesting. Like the line about the oceans and the cities and whatnot. Is there any reason to go to Lothering then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travellers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
How are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
I don't sense any Darkspawn.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
So the Darkspawn are camped farther in the forest?
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
Okay. What skills do you have exactly?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
What was that line? Why did he ask, can you cook? I imagine it's because she's a woman. We haven't really... Well, I guess the place that we came from. Where's the... I don't remember the name. I forget the name. Alien Age, that's the one. I guess the Alien Age was also had some very strict gender roles, or at least seemed to have specific and strict gender roles. So I don't know what his prejudices are in that regard. We of course knew she could cook because she said that, but then you can substitute for Alistair, I'm gonna say, to try and jab at him, because my character probably shares the similar societal background.
Right, my cooking will kill us. That's all I meant.
I also know at least 15 different poisons that grow right here in this marsh. Not that I would suggest 'tis at all related to cooking.
Okay, well, I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Hopefully she will. Hopefully we all will. But not this episode, though, because we're out of time for the day. A lot of quests, and I'm going to look at them in between episodes. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Dragon Age Origins. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.